talk about the type of support services available to our students, for example, CAS?
So we have the CAS, which is the Center for Academic Success, and that's spearheaded by Dr. Zellner. And this is I've encountered some similar programs or departments before, but nothing that is so really rich and enriching, I think, for the students. So we have, especially early in your first couple of semesters, there's a lot of weekly CAS sessions, and it'll be focused on just topics of, managing stress, or dealing with, how to answer a question, or how to dissect a vignette, or learning strategies. And so Dr. Zellner has a whole suite of different applications set up that are made to really help the students fine tune their study skills, figure out what their weaknesses are, and then just maximize their success. I mean, the name says it all, but it really is. She strives to do that. So there's a lot of scheduled things, but we also have these specialized CAS sessions called just-in-time sessions. And so those are nice because I can be working with a group of students, and I know there's an exam coming up, and I'm talking to someone, and I'm like, they're still not getting the palsies of the brachial plexus on the detail that I really need them to, or I'd like to be at. So I'll schedule a just-in-time session through the CAS, and then we can have a 2-hour session where we go through some questions, we work on some concepts, we clean up the details, and then sometimes I can keep the students from going down some rabbit holes that maybe aren't as productive or fruitful. And so I think that, like I say, it's, again, something that's more amplified than at any place that I've worked at before. We also have a counseling and wellness center, and Melanie Jezel is our counselor, and so she's right here on campus, and she offers a lot of support for students, whether it's school related or, could be outside of school, but it's just affecting your ability to focus or just your mental happiness. And so that's really nice. I think a lot of students get to take advantage of that. And, if you're feeling stressed, you can go down to her office and you can cut out a little snowflake. You can do some stress relief type activities and things like that. We don't see any snow around here. That's kind of a novelty, snowflakes. As was mentioned earlier, most of the faculty, if not all, have an open door policy. And so I have a cracked door policy, which means I'm there, come on in. I'm just shut the door because I might be listening to music or NPR or something like that. But, a lot of times say, can I schedule one? I said, we can schedule it or just come on by. And if I'm not in session, if I'm not actually actively teaching, then I'll be in my office waiting for students to come around. And some days I'll have a few hours in the afternoon. I could go out on my sailboat, but I'll stay here instead and just wait. And sure enough, I have 2 or 3 students come by, and the next thing you know, we're drawing on the board and we're working out some ideas. And so I think that's really good. The Office of Student Affairs actually has a really rich, dynamic group of activities that they have. For one thing, they sponsor our student clubs, and we have 19 student clubs right now, several more in the works. And so it's just a wide diversity. If a student group wants to open up a club, there's a process that they go through. They write up, some information. They get a faculty sponsor, and then it gets voted on. And so far, we've had a lot of success with the students. Really, and the advantage of these clubs is that they help the CV builders, right? So they actually add a lot of things to your CV, which will make you competitive and hopefully give you a chance to stand out from not only other IMGs or international medical graduates, but also with stateside students who graduate stateside. And so one thing is that, well, I was the president of this club, and I was an officer in this club, and I helped found this club. And so that's all a really amazing thing. The OSA also sponsors at least 1 or 2, but sometimes 3 major events every single semester. So in the first week, we have welcome week, or right after welcome week, our first week of classes, we have a big game night. And so there's a balloon house or a bouncy house on campus, and there's all kinds of activities going on. And I'm always going around, and playing Anatomy Jeopardy or whatever, with students. Make sure our fun is focused still. But also a soiree that we've been doing for about the last year. And so at the end of the semester, we have a big gala, and everybody gets all dressed up in fancy clothes, and then there's just dancing and food and music, and everybody likes to kind of end the semester that way. We often, OSA sponsors a beach cleanup, and we've got one coming up here in about a week and a half or so. And so I actually put a request in to come down to Xanadu Beach, which is close to where I live. I think so that's what we're going to probably take the beach cleanup down there. And then also white coat ceremony. So we have we now have white coat once a year, and so OSA also sponsors that. So a lot of different things going on. Lots of ways that we try to, during the day we want the students to work as hard as they can, and to and also into the evenings. But we want them to realize that there is life outside of the study.